Are we live? Uh-oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoot. I can't see nobody's in the chat or not. It says live. What up? What up? I can't see your guys' comments. Why can't I see your guys' comments? So I don't know who's in here, but we are live. Sorry I'm a little late. I was on the phone. Had to take care of a little... Something popped up right at 7 p.m. My phone rang. Mel, please help. Where's my comment? I'm like, I can't see. Where's everybody at?
Go to maybe options.
Options?
No, window.
Window.
Show all utility windows.
Right here?
It should pop up.
All right, there you guys are. All right, sweet.
Push mute.
Oh.
So then
All right.
Yep, see.
Is it muted? Nope. There we go. All right, man. We are up and going. Whoop, whoop. I can see who's in here now. All right. I was kind of staring at a blank screen for a second. All right, so what up? What up? Sorry for being 5 minutes late. Like I said, phone rang at 7 p.m. and it was something popped up, and I was like, of course, I was trying to talk as fast as I could, get off the phone and get on here with you guys, but thanks for being patient. All right, who's up in the chat tonight? We got Big Bird. We got Monroe. What up? What up? Adam, Lauren, Brian. What up? What up? Eric, Chris. What's going down? Mel. Just had Mel help us out. Big Bang. Liam, what up, what up, what up? We got all the boys here tonight. Danny B, boy, what up, what up? All right, well, sweet. Tommy, Big Fred, well, cool, man. Glad everybody's here hanging out. Man, it feels like we haven't hung out in a while, huh? Because I missed last week. I was flying home from Cali, pretty much got home with maybe an hour or so before. And I'm going to be honest with you, we were starving. I said, hey, I'm taking the wife to dinner. So I went out with the wife, took her out, and we had a really good dinner. So I haven't seen her in a week and was hanging out with the boys all week. So spent some time with the wife. But that's why I missed it. I kind of knew it was going to be a tight one. And I was kind of one of those things like, yeah, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? And if I got home and I was like feeling really aggressive and ready to go, I was going to jump on. But I was starving and wanted to hang out with my wife. So it was good. We got tried a new spot, too. We always eat at the same spot, so we tried something new. It was actually really good. So, anyway, man, this is Moto Mondays, and we do this every Monday night. We talk about Moto. So if you're new here, thanks for coming out. 7 p.m. Central Time, hanging out, talking Moto, talking bike setup, talking training, talking racing, talking Supercross, talking freestyle Moto. We talk about everything Moto related. If you want to come follow me on my pages at Ronnie Faisst. Look me up, and we will stay connected. What else is going down? Let's see. I was talking about just getting back from the Cali class. Next one, February 27th. I'm going to do it same place, same time. Actually, we could talk a little bit about last week's class because I got out to Cali. But yeah, be on the lookout. 27th. It's up on the site if you guys want to get signed up. Anybody's interested. It's going to be at Lake Elsinore, 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I'm taking 4 riders. I realized last week with the way things worked out, I don't know if anybody's been following what's going on in Cali, but they got a ton of rain. So I got there on a Thursday. It rained pretty much on and off on Thursday, and then it poured all day Friday. So I had to push. Couldn't even do the class on Saturday. We ended up pushing it till Sunday. And the reason why I was at Elsinore to begin with, the first class I did back in June, I did it at Fox Raceway, which is an awesome place, but Fox Raceway gets really busy. And that's why I take less people in California, because it's on a public track. Here in the Midwest, take 5 people. I got the whole track to myself. I like the small groups, but one less guy really helps out when there's a ton of other people going around the track. So anyway, I figured, hey, let's go to Lake Elsinore, because Lake Elsinore has the vet track, has the pro track, has the amateur track, even has a couple 50 small bike tracks. So I figured it would break up the group, and I was hoping that the vet track would be really empty, and then we'd be able to work on sections and get on and off and do what we want. A little bit easier than Fox Raceway, because Fox Raceway's vet track gets crowded. And so the rain jacked everything up. They closed on Saturday, open Sunday, and we had to start an hour later. They didn't open. They normally open at 8. They didn't even open the gates till 9. We started our class at 10. But the thing was, the vet track was open, the pro track was open, and I think the amateur track was closed. But the pro track was so muddy, nobody rode it. So that means everyone at the track was on the vet track. And they cleared, when they pushed off the mud, they pushed all the mud and the water to the side. So we couldn't get on and off and run the sections like we wanted. We kind of had to do laps. So a little bit more difficult and not what I expected, but hoping and believing for good weather on this one. And I think if Elsinore works the way it should, I think the vet track will be a lot less busy this time. When the pro track's open and the amateur track's open, most of the people are going to be probably on the amateur track, and then anyone who's advanced can be on the pro track. And the vet tracks will be pretty mellow. And it's a good track. It actually got really good ruts, had a bunch of holes out there. It's still a good track, and it's super safe. The jumps are super safe. So beginner rider, even early intermediate, it's a safe track to work on stuff. But anyway, we still had a good day. We went to the back part of and did all our drills just way like on the other side of the pro track. And then we worked on a vet track a little bit, but then we found a nice little on the pro track. Found one section that wasn't that muddy, and it's pretty cool. It had this come down this hill, hit this tabletop, had a right-hander, and we had two lines coming through it, and then you went back up the uphill. But it was fun. We worked out for a little while. So Danny B was out there, so it was good. And looking forward to the next class. So like I said, Lake Elsinore is where it's going to be. And then I'm thinking about being out at Paula on Sunday. So the plan is I'm going to be doing the class on Saturday, and then I'll be out at Paula Sunday. That is the plan. So get some riding in on the next trip, and then I'm going to hang out for a couple days afterwards. And then, yeah, so if anybody's interested, it's RonnieFeistMX.com. All the information's on the site. And then you guys, if anyone ever has questions, you can just email me at info@RonnieFeistMX.com, and I can answer any questions that you need on schools or anything like that. What else is going down? Let's talk about Supercross. Man, we've been a lot going down. Look, we are rounding out. Right now, we are about to head into Orlando. This is the last round of the East Coast 250. And then we're not going to, those dudes you ain't even going to see those dudes all the way until, man, not until the 24th in Salt Lake, right before the shootout. So we got Orlando for 2 weeks. And this is weird. Check this out. First week is a East Coast race. Second week's a West Coast race. And it'd be cool to see who's in this West Coast group for 250s, because I'm not exactly sure who's in this. So it's going to be cool to see what's going down in that. But yeah, so Orlando and then Daytona. That's always a good one to watch. So we are chipping away at this series. I mean, it's really coming down. These East Coast guys, think about it. They got this race in the 24th here, and then it's a shootout. So they're looking at 2 more races. So they're running out of time. Let's pull up the... yank this up here. All right. Here is the standings for the 250 East. Right? Yes, sir. Yeah, so we got Nichols out front, who's looking solid. He's up by 6 points. So Christian Craig is definitely not out of it. I mean, Nichols went down. Nichols went down on the start last weekend and worked his way all the way up. So anything can happen. If Nichols has a DNF or something, bike breaks or anything, like, dude, this little 6 point gap that can be closed up pretty quick. So the championship is on the line, in my opinion. Nichols and Craig are looking to be the two between these two right here. Shimoda, hey, I know he finished on the podium a couple weeks ago when a couple of those dudes, I think it was Lawrence and somebody, was it Lawrence and Craig went down, right? Lawrence and Craig like took each other out, and Shimoda popped up on the podium, and he wasn't stoked. He wasn't as stoked as he normally would have been if he didn't feel like he earned it. And in his interview, you can tell it's like, hey, I pretty much got this one given to me, but I'll take it. But hey, he earned it this past weekend. He was on the podium, and he's holding it down. So he's Mr. Consistent, dude. He's pretty much 4th, 5th. Now he's starting to break into the podium. So I think Shimoda is just a consistent, super good dude to watch. And then Lawrence, here he is here. Man, didn't he have the roughest? Was it last weekend or the weekend before? It's hard to tell. You can't get. I feel like we watched so many races now. The Tuesday, it was last Tuesday, right? That he had the really bad crash. Is that right, Mel? Mel probably knows more than me. I think it was last Tuesday. He crashed twice, gnarly, and then last weekend, yeah, right? Oh, gosh, I can't even remember. But anyway, he's been having like this dude could just clean it up and stay up. I think he's definitely a contender. Just hey. Spent a lot of time on the ground this year. 2 hard ones last year, or last week or the week before, whenever it was. But he's still sick, and I think he'll smooth out in time. And be up in the game. Just a matter of time. He's got to work through it. But he's definitely got talent. Let's look at the 450s. Here we go here. Oh, man. I don't know how pumped you guys are to see. Is me? Roxon with 3 in a row? Come on. 3 in a row. Look at this, dude, right here. He's the only dude who's won. Only dude who's won 3 in a row, but only dude who's won more than once. But there's still a lot of races left, and this class has got some heavy hitters. So I definitely think we'll probably see some other winners popping up, and then most likely it's probably going to be Webb, Tomac. I mean, shoot, you never know with Cinderella too. He's got the skill. All these dudes could, any of these dudes could win again. Barsha, yeah. And I even think Muscan, I know he's way down here in points, but Muscan and Osborne, dude. Both of those dudes I still think could win a race. Like, they get the right start. They got skills. But anyway, I'm super stoked to see Roxton 3 in a row. And I want him to win the championship. It's up by 16 points now. So I still don't think that's enough to call it with as many races that are left. But I'm happy to see him keep building on that lead. And I hope he wins this thing because, like I said, I've been pulling for him ever since his first year back when he came off all the arm injuries. I was like, man, I want to see him win. And obviously it's been a journey. And he hasn't been able to do it yet. But if he does it, dude, come on. That is one comeback story. Everything he's been through to come all the way back and win a championship. Not win a race, but win a championship in the 450 class. Hardest class in the world. So I'm pulling for Roxon. Hopefully he does it. So let's, yeah, man. So that is sweet. Hey, another thing. Here, let's pop this up. Wait. Where's it at? Oh, let's see. Where's it at? I had one other thing here. Here it is. Booyah! Finally! Ha ha! Woo! Picked it up this week. 2021 Rockstar Edition. And graphics and the seat cover being printed and made right now, so it's going to look like this guy, but obviously I'm changing this out. I'm going black here. I'm getting rid of the yellow fender, going white fender, black here, and then I might just take these things off. I don't have them on my other bike. Might just take those off, and then my same kit I ran last year. Yeah, so excited. But it's crazy cold right now, and ain't no way I'm riding that thing anytime soon. Anyone who lives out here in the Midwest right now, we are experiencing the coldest. This might be the coldest week that I've ever experienced in the Midwest. It is single digits during the day, but with the wind chill, it's negative digits. So I know some of you guys live up north in Canada. That's normal for you guys, but hey, man, that stuff's gnarly. So anyway, man, other than that, Big Feist is not on here tonight. He's out hunting, and he told me to call him. I don't know. He's like, hey, call me when you get on. I'm calling in. I don't know why he's telling me to call in. Like I like we take calls. I don't like, what is he talking about? I think he gets confused sometimes between my page and stuff Mel posts, because Mel posted some stuff on our ministry page where you could voice activate like a question, so you could answer. You could basically ask us a question with your voice, and then we can get it, and then we can make a video about it and answer your question. And I think he must think that's us, because he's like, yo, I'm calling in tonight. And I'm like, we call, wait, this ain't a radio show. So Big Feist, he's out. He don't get he's out in the boonies. He's out with his cousin out in Ohio again. I thought hunting season was over, but he's sneaking in a couple extra days. But anyway, let's jump in here. If you're new here, what we do, we hang out every week and we ask. I try to ask questions, answer questions, and give you guys as much feedback and help as I can. So you can ask anything you want for the most part. But obviously it's Moto Monday, so try to keep it moto related. But the way we do it, try to put a question mark up by your question so I can find it amongst the comments, because everybody gets in here and starts talking. So if you don't have the question marks, I'll scroll right by it thinking it's a comment. So that's how I kind of find it. And hey, another thing, if you guys are here, man, hit that. The more I realize how YouTube works, man, you gotta hit the thumbs up. Give me the thumbs up stuff, so YouTube pumps it out, more people watch it, and more people can get connected. So yeah, appreciate that. That's how this stuff works. Gotta get the thumbs up and all the other stuff, the algorithm. You know how it is. All right, Let's see what's going down. I'm scrolling to the top, and then I'm going to jump in. We're going to ask some questions. Oh, man, I just saw Eric Davis said he hit three rock stars today. He's going hard with the rock stars. Hot, too. Super Bowl, huh? Man. Hey, you win some, you lose some. And you know what? I believe the Kansas City Chiefs are a championship team. You know, even though they didn't win it this year, they still made it there, and they still played for it. Probably played the worst game of their life, but hey, you learn. It's a learning experience. The way I look at it, every one of those dudes went home upset with themselves, thinking about everything they did. Probably gonna go review it in their mind, a million things of what they did, what they didn't do, why they didn't. I know how it goes. And they're gonna watch the tape, and they're all gonna get together, and they're gonna get better from it. So, hey, it is what it is. But it would have been cool to see him win again. But it's all good. Hey, next season. All right, let's see what Lauren has here. Let's see. We got some question marks here. All right, so kind of touch on this a little bit. So you think Ken Roczen is going to be the champion this season? I'm hoping Ken wins the championship. Yes, I think he can. 100%. I think Ken can this year, and I'm hoping he does as well. So I'm pulling for him 100%. I want him to take it down. All right, see what Liam has. He said, what up, Fights? How's everything going? How was Cali? Cali was awesome. Talked a little bit about it, but it was good. Other than the weather wasn't California weather. It's like, go to Cali, you want to see the sun. I saw a lot of clouds. But it was at the end of the day, it was still good. Got to do a good class. Got to see, my mom was actually out there. My mom was out there. I got to see my brother and got to hang out with all the boys. The only thing, Twitch actually totally squid, dude. When I'm booking, figuring out what week I'm going to come, I hit him up probably months ago and said, yo, you're going to be home this weekend? Because I'm coming in. This is one of the, yeah. I said, all right, I'll make sure I don't want you to be out of town. No, for sure. The night before I get there, he hits me up and he's like, when you coming? I'm like, tomorrow. And he's like, oh, dude, I forgot we're going camping this weekend. So I got to hang out with Wangy. Wangy flew in from Cali. So that was the only thing. Didn't get to hang out. I got to hang out with Twitch a couple hours before they took off in the motorhome. Helped them load it up and stuff. But I didn't get to hang out with him as much as I was hoping to, just because he was out of town. But that's typical of Twitch. Tell you one thing, and then it's a whole nother story. Jacked up. But anyway, still a good trip. And looking forward to the next one. And yeah, I got to hang out with Deegan a little bit. I didn't get to ride a whole lot on this one. That was the only thing I was like, man, I didn't get to ride that much. So that's why this one, I think I'm going to do the class Saturday, and then Sunday I'm going to be at Fox Raceway. Get some riding in. All right. What's wrong? Where you at? All right, so let's see here. Keep it cracking. Yeah, I seen Anthony here, New Jersey, 12 inches of snow. I heard New Jersey and New York are crushed, I heard. See, Big Feist missed out on it. All right, let's get Liam up here again. He says, hey, Ronnie, what is you and Mel's favorite book in the Bible? Favorite book in the Bible? Man, I mean, I feel like if I had to pick a gospel, I would say the Gospel of John is my favorite gospel. But if I had to pick an epistle of Paul's, I would probably say Romans or Ephesians. I like Romans and Ephesians. Yeah, I would go with those for epistles. And if I was to pick an Old Testament, let's see, what would I go with an Old Testament book? Maybe Jeremiah. I'll go with Jeremiah, Old Testament prophet. But I can't answer for Mel. Mel, I don't know. I've never answered that question. What is Mel's favorite book in the Bible? She likes them all. She likes to do these one-year Bible plans from Genesis to Revelation. Genesis to Revelation. She loves that one. I like Matthew to Revelation. I like New Testament. That one's easy for me. I can start Matthew and rip right through to Revelation in a couple months. So I've done that one a gazillion times. I'm actually doing it again. I'm in, what am I in right now? I'm in Matthew, Mark, Luke. I'm in Luke right now. Third gospel. So I'm chipping away. But Mel likes to set really big goals. Learn that about her. All right, let's see here. Have you ever rode, this is Ryan, sorry, Reedy. He says, have you ever rode a 500 two-stroke before? Yes, I have, and they are super fun and would love to go ride another 500 two-stroke if I had the chance. That'd be a sick bike to go rip on. It's been a really long time since I rode. It's been a really long time since I rode a 252 stroke, but it'd be fun. Down to do it. Let's see here. It look like a lot of other people are jumping in here. Vino Dino 135. We got Swam Racing. How you say that? Frackly Junior. Oh, we got Monroe with the super chat. What's up, my brother? Start the game, my friend. It's Moto Money. Yeah. All right. Much love to Monroe with the super chat. Thanks for being here every week. Monroe's always here hanging out with us. All right. So we got 211. What up, OG? Arizona. All right. Liam again. Let's see. He says, you should have a line for us to call in. That would be pretty dope. Don't you think so? Yeah, so maybe Big Feist is onto something. He thought that's what I had, or that's what I don't know. He told. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I got to get on that other program I talked about a bunch. I know. I get all busy during the week doing 500 other things. I need to just try to figure out that. And I've talked about it a million times. I think that would be cool. That's probably a good way to... remember we were talking about the software, so we can bring on guests. I need to do that because I really think it'd be cool to have on some other people. Got to get some other cats up on here. All right, let me bring this down a little bit so I ain't on my face. Here we go. So we got Kyle. He says, do you have any advice and some tips? My goal is to become the first Native American from my tribe to backflip a dirt bike. Yeah, so all right, so advice and tips on backflipping a dirt bike. First off, man, I always recommend, I know it's hard because most people don't have access to a foam pit, but I always recommend to learn it in the foam pit because it's way harder than everybody thinks, especially on a big bike. But you got to go through the steps. You got to start on a bicycle, and same thing. Go down to wherever if you have a local bicycle park that has a foam pit, and flip your bicycle in the foam pit. Get used to flipping a bicycle. Then go to like the 110, flip a 110 a little bit, and then maybe bump up to a bigger bike, or a little bit, or just go to the bike you ride all the time. But I did it. I went bicycle. I actually did it on a 50 first, and then I went right from the 50 to. I was on a 252 stroke at the time. I went to that. But I learned it in a foam pit. I didn't have to, thank God, try it over dirt or wood chips like a lot of, like Deegan tried it. And Hart tried it over, obviously Hart just went for it at dirt, but Deegan tried it over wood chips. Metzger brought a ramp out to the sand dunes. This is not a bad idea. But you just got to be careful. Like flipping a dirt bike is way harder. Like the guys make it look easy because they're good at it. It's like anything in the world. When people are good, it looks like, oh, that looks easy. It's because they're good. It's way harder than you think. But Metzger brought a ramp out to the sand dunes and butted it up and made it like a step up. So that way he didn't fall as far. So he stepped up to a sand dune, and obviously it was sand. So if you did have to get off, you're hitting the sand versus hitting hard packed dirt. But just know it's a learning process. You got to go through the steps. And here's the thing: if you flip on a big bike, I promise you, it's going to take longer to rotate than you think. Like when you get upside down, you're going to be thinking, "Oh no! Like what's going on? Where am I at? I'm going to crash." And you actually might be fine. You just need to stay with it and ride it out. Because the rotation takes a little bit longer than you would think. But once you learn the rotation, you know exactly right when you leave the lip if you have it. You know exactly how long it takes, so you're not panicking. You just kind of rip and you just wait. But it's full commitment. There's nothing half-hearted about it. You got to be in it to win it. You can't pull and then lean forward. You can't look and back at it. It's like it's all or nothing. You got to be in it. But just be careful, man, because it is a dangerous trick. But I would always say get into a foam pit is the best way to learn it, safest way to learn it. Because every one of us who even went through the process of foam pit still crashed on dirt. I crashed my first one on dirt, drilled them in the foam pit, went to dirt, and got nervous and still crashed. So And it's a process for sure. Mental game. But that would be my advice. Foam pit. All right, let's get Brian up in here. He says, you racing this coming season? I'm going to try to race most of them. All right, so Brian's getting in the game here. What class you riding, dude? Where are you getting into? I don't know. Like I gotta get. Like I'm trying to get in shape right now. Like I'm so like not where I want to be physically. That I'm cleaning up my diet, getting more consistent on my workouts, training harder. I'm not just going to go and just cruise around. Like working on doing way more cardio. So I'm trying to get in shape. So maybe. And my goal is to ride more this year because I have not rode as much as I always set my goal to ride and I haven't hit it. So I'm trying to be more committed to riding more this year. So maybe. I wanted to do it last year a little bit and I didn't do it. So hey, I might, maybe. But I'm in the 40 plus class, dude. That'll be my class. Stay in your lane. I know where I belong. I ain't racing in the pro class, dude. I'm old. Be out there with the old timers, dude. But yeah, I definitely thought about it. Racing's fun. All right, let's get Lauren back up in here. He says, "Are you and Mel planning on having any children? If not too personal question." Yeah, no, it's not personal. Yeah, so we are. Just don't know when and how soon, but yeah, definitely. We're going to definitely have a family one day. You know, we got little Mally now. Who was our little girl. I'll call my firstborn. But yeah, we're looking to have a family for sure. All right, so let's get Woodscrafts up here. He said, so you doing mostly FMX. So wait, so anyway, sounds good. So am I doing mostly FMX? As far as like when I'm riding, I actually out here I'm doing mostly only moto because I don't have a consistent place to ride FMX. But I do know where a setup is, and I actually want to do a couple videos. I haven't been able to do much videos of anything because of the weather. But once this weather breaks, I'm gonna get back to doing instructional videos, both for moto and I want to do some for freestyle. So if that ramp is still set up, which I'm hoping it is, it's about 40 minutes south of my house, 45 minutes or so. I want to go down there and hit that ramp and do a couple videos and give some freestyle tips. And then we'll do some more moto tip stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Once spring comes around, we'll get back to doing some more riding videos and stuff. But love FMX. And I want to teach FMX. The more I think about, like, as a coach, like, I love teaching moto. I love just teaching dirt bikes. I love just helping people. Like, I feel like I just have a passion for freestyle. You know, I did it for so long, and I would enjoy teaching people that want to learn. So it would be sweet if I was able to. How many people would really? That's the thing. Like, how many people would really? If I had a place to teach freestyle here in the Midwest, how many people would really want to come? And I'm not talking about like I'm teaching how to do a backflip or teach you how to do that. I'm talking about basics. You learn how to jump the ramp first at a safe distance. Once you can hit the ramp first, we're going to learn how to take off our hands. We're going to learn how to take off our feet. We're going to learn how to do a can, knack. You're going to learn everything in the same rhythm that all the top pros learn it. I know exactly how everybody learned freestyle because I've watched them. I've learned it like we grew the sport together. So I know the steps, the way we went. And I would bring people up that same way. I wouldn't just try to go, hey, let's just go learn Kiss Death first week. Let's get to Kiss Death. Like, let's start with something easy. Let's build some confidence. Let's get you like used to moving around on the bike. But I would enjoy that. So if anyone would be into that, leave a little comment. Just curious if people are into that, or is it more or less like, freestyle is just too sketchy, and I'd rather just rip corners and ride the motor track. Which I think is so important. It's why I teach, like right now I teach moto, because I feel like it's the foundation. Like if you want to be a freestyle guy, you first should know how to ride your bike. Like it's nothing worse than watching someone whose bike skills are just way off and then they're trying to jump off their bike and do tricks. You're just like, man, he looks sketchy just trying to jump the ramp, let alone do tricks. You want solid foundation, and that's what I like teaching is the fundamentals of riding, like the basics, the fundamentals, because that's everything. I've learned that a long time ago in life. I grew up as a martial artist, and your basics was your foundation, and everything was built on that. And when your basics were off, and your blocks sucked, and your stances sucked, and all your basics were rusty, your whole kata and your whole form, everything else looked like doo-doo. And I believe it's the same way in motocross. You want a solid foundation, and you just build on that. So I focus so much on teaching the fundamentals and teaching the basics, because once you got solid basics, it's the sky's the limit. You can build on it, And when you're doing things right, you're smoother, you're faster, you're safer, you're making less mistakes, you're not hitting the ground as much. And that's a big thing in motocross, because once you start bouncing off the ground and breaking things, you set back, you lose confidence, and then you got to start back over and build back up. So eliminate mistakes, and that comes from the riding the right way, good technique. So that's why I love what I get to do right now is teach just people how to get the fun, build that foundation, build that solid foundation of body position, throttle, clutch control, all that stuff. That's the most important stuff. Every top dude is a master of the basics. That's what I feel like a black belt is. A black belt, when you get a black belt, you just mastered your basics, and then from there you move on, first degree, second degree, third degree. But when you get to a first dan, that's a master of the basics. Some schools will give kids black belts fast, but most schools it's a minimum 5 years or even longer. Can't get a black belt in less than 5 years from a good school, I'd say. All right, take you 5 years to master the basics, All right, so Anthony P. We gotta look over here. My eyes are getting bad. He said, wait, here we go. Sorry. He says, if you speak to Dana, John, or Bubba, can you please tell them a dude from Rhode Island wants to thank them from the bottom of his heart for the years of awesome videos. All right. Yeah, man. I bump into Dana sometimes when I'm out in Cali, so let him know. Anthony P. is grateful for the videos. I think we all are, right? Did not those crusty videos motivate us? Come on. They made us want to get out there and ride. I know they motivated me to pack my bags and drive all the way across the United States with $200 in a ratty van. I couldn't wait. It's like, yo, let's go film. All right, here we go. We get Liam up here again. He said, hey, Feist, do you prefer Hondas or Husqvarnas? To be honest with you, I like them both. I could ride a Honda, I could ride a Husqvarna, I could ride a Cowie. They're the three bikes I feel really comfortable on. But I love my Husky. I'm not gonna lie. I feel comfortable on it. It's a good bike. Never had problems with it, to be honest with you. The only thing I've ever had happen to my Husky is the hydraulic clutch seal went out. Went out on my 16 once, and it went out on my 18. But it's like a 5-minute fix. It's no big deal. But other than that, no issues with my bikes. They're solid bikes. Bright. They handle good. Like I said, no problems with them, and they're comfortable. They feel skinny. They feel light. The brakes are amazing. Yeah, I'd ride them all. But I'm grateful, and a shout out to Husqvarna for hooking me up with the new bike and the parts credit, and then just even hooking me up out in Cali with a bike to ride. So Husqvarna is just cool. I don't feel like there's a lot of companies out there that are helping out retired freestyle guys. You know what I mean? I probably couldn't call Honda and be like, hey, hook me up with a sweet deal on the bikes and some parts. And then when I come to Cali, let me get a bike to ride. They're like, what? Come on, bro. But Husky's cool like that. That's what I'm saying. And I was even talking when I was at Deegan's, we were talking about Husky a little bit, and KTM and Gas, because they're all kind of under the same umbrella. And Deegan was saying the same thing. KTM just has such a great amateur program, and they're doing so much for the amateur guys. So I think because they're just under that umbrella, Husky's helping out people. Husky, they do that. Think about all the if you want to call them support rides that they hook people, like Hart gets bikes, Sonny Garcia, Jeff Emig. Of course, Jeff anyway, but I'm just saying myself, they do take care of a lot of people who necessarily aren't, full, all of us are all retired. We're all retired people chilling, but they're still doing stuff for people that've been in the industry. And I think it's really cool. And then KTM has really good bringing up the amateur kids. So, and from what I heard, the gas is going awesome. That is coming straight from the VP's mouth at Husqvarna, that everything's going great with the race team, the bike, way better than I thought. So that's a lot of people are liking it. So that's something to look into when you're thinking about new bikes, is the gas. All right, let's get Jesse up here. He says, good evening, Ronnie and Mel. He says, did you get an email I sent the other day? Man, I'm going to look for it now. We get so many emails that I'll be honest with you, we don't get back to most of the people because there's gazillions of them come in. It's not that we're like trying to be rude or anything. It's just hard. It was hard to keep up with them. So I'll look to see though, just because you mentioned it. See if I can find you in the group. But yeah, definitely gonna look for that. All right. What do we got here? All right, so let's get Kyle up here. Here we go. He says, who was the first person to actually backflip a dirt bike? Was it the Godfather or was it Carey Hart? Most people say it was Carey Hart. What do you think? It was Carey Hart, 100%. Carey Hart flipped at, was it 19? Trying to think what year it was. Was it 99? Or what year was it? It was in, think about, I'm trying to even know what year it was now. Man, it's been so long ago. It was at Rhode Island at Gravity Games. I just can't remember the actual year. I'm just trying to think. Like 1997 is when I moved to Cali. It wasn't 99 because 99, or maybe it was. 97 is when I moved there. 1998 was the first Vans Warped Tour. 1999 was the first year of Gravity Games and X Games, but I don't think he did it the first year. It had to be 2000, right? You guys could probably Google it and find out, but I don't think he did it the first year we were there. I think he did it the next year. It had to be 2000. I think 2001 sounds a little too late, but anyway, Carey Hart did do it first. Hart, and think about this, Hart flipped, they carved out a vert ramp, so it was basically the step-up lip. There was a step-up lip. Hart flipped out of the step-up lip. Dude, he went like 15 feet out of the lip. It was gnarly. He rotated it. No one's ever flipped a dirt bike before. No one even knew that this was possible. And Hart said he was going to do it. And we were all kind of like, what, really? And anyway, and he kind of like ragdolled off the back a little. He did it, in my opinion. He it kind of hit and crashed off. But he still rotated it. We still weren't like, okay, we were all like, well, that was gnarly, but nobody was really, at least I know, I was like, me, Twitch, the guys out here were like, except for Deegan. You know how Deegan is. Deegan's like, okay, I got to go do that, beat everybody, right? But we were like, we weren't sure if it was consistent, so it wasn't like, oh, I got to go learn that right this second. And I know he came out, then he came out he went out in Philly, so yeah, it was 2000, because 2001 was when we were in Philadelphia for X Games, and I remember the very next year, so it has to be 2000 at Gravity Games, Rhode Island. 2001 he came back to Philly, and in Best Trick, and he tried it again off the vert ramp, or off the step-up lip, and this time he blew his hand off, he jumped off, and he got worked. He crashed so hard. And I don't remember what he broke, but he got jacked up. And then, I'm trying to think now, so that was in 2001. It was so think about this. So that had to be 2002. The very next year, he must have been back in Philly, because Metzger. So right after that is when Metzger brought a ramp out to the sand dunes, and this was a pop. So now Metzger. So think about this. Hart tried it on the dirt, or on the step-up lip. Metzger was the first one to bring out the ramp, the 45-foot popper ramp, drags it out to Glamis, sets it up in the sand dunes, and figures it out. He hits me up. He says, Feist, I'm flipping tomorrow at my house. Be there. Me and Twitch rolled down there, and dude, he went out and did 5 in a row on a 45-foot popper ramp, smooth as ice. Like, it looked easy. And that's when me and Twitch were like, dude, we got to learn it. Because we knew now it was doable. Because up until that point, think about it, Hart, rotated, fell off the back at Gravity Games, came back at Philly, blew his hand off, crashed. No one really, and I watched Deegan try it in the backyard. Deegan was trying to do it, and same thing, kept crashing, bouncing off the wood chips. So I was kind of like, oh, that don't look fun to me. But when Metzger went out and drilled 5 in a row, we were like, dude, it's on now. Because now you could do it every day, all day. So, luckily, in between all of that time, Hart built the first foam pit. Hart built a foam pit, and luckily he invited me and Twitch to come up there. And then right after that, Deegan had hit us up and said, yo, you guys want to chip in and help me build a foam pit? And we all, it was like $5,000 each, I remember. Had like 4 of us, cost like 20 G's. And we all kicked in and built one at Deegan's house. And then we used that thing nonstop to get all our, get the flip down, and 360, all that stuff. I was the type of dude. Most of the guys, once you had your flip down, you learned all your flip tricks on the dirt. Because jumping in the foam pit wasn't as fun as everybody thinks. Because think about it, especially once you got off the 45-foot ramp. Oh yeah, I wanted to get back to that. Metzger, that next year, that sounds sweet. He went off this is in Philly, and this has changed the game, because he went 45-foot popper ramp, and he landed, clicked. I don't know if he probably clicked third. He did. Because he probably flipped it in second. He probably flipped the 45 in second, clicked third in the air, and then he flipped a dirt lip. And you guys remember that? Double, back-to-back flips at Philadelphia X Games? I'm thinking it had to be 2002. And if I'm off about a year. But anyway, when he did that, that's when we all realized, like, whoa, he just flipped. Like, no one's ever done that before. He just flipped an 80-foot dirt lip. Easy. Like, it was so easy. We're like, what? So then we realized, like, dude, if he flipped that, we could flip the 75-foot ramp, because we were all flipping the 45-foot. So then everyone started, was like, yo, put the 75 up to the foam pit. Flipped off the 75. I remember the first time I tried it, dude. I tried it at X Games in practice. I remember I tried it at Deacon's house in the foam pit the week before X Games, and I think I like under-rotated a little bit, but not bad. And I was like, and I wasn't planning on doing it, I don't think 100%. And I remember I got to practice, and I'm watching everybody practice. Everyone's on the 45-foot ramp. No one was flipping the big ramp. And I was like, dude, if I flip the big ramp, I'm for sure getting a medal. So I'm like, I'm just going to do it now in practice, so that way when my run comes up, I'm not tripping. I know I got it. So I went, it was in one of the videos. It was, I don't know what video, I feel like it was one of Troy Adamitis videos, but I under-rotate, so I think it was a Fox video. Troy Adamitis was the director. But anyway, I under-rotated so bad, and I hit so hard, it's one of the gnarliest crap, and they had me mic'd up, and you hear me hit, and some of you guys might remember watching that video, and I'm just like, ooh. Dude, it was gnarly. So that was my experience trying to go from the 45 to the 75. But anyway, went back after X Games. I remember that year at X Games, everyone crashed. I was sitting in the back of the medics rooms. Hart was in there, Jones was in there, and I was in there. All three of us crashed. Jones tried to do a barrel roll. You guys remember that? When Jones tried to do a barrel roll and landed on his back? I don't even know what Hart did. He probably tried to flip the ramp. He seemed like he crashed every time he tried to do it. But anyway, so long answer for a question, but Hart, and that was how it all went down. It's good memories, though. It's fun talking about how everything went down back in the day. But that's why I always say get a foam pit, because it's way harder. Like, even us who had foam pits still ragged all of ourselves. And even after years of doing flips, I've still crashed flips, like multiple times. You know, most of the times, because you get so focused on your trick, you forget about part one. It's flip. Part one, flip, then do your trick. But sometimes you're thinking, oh man, I gotta. And you start thinking about where you want to put your body and what you want to do, that you come off the ramp and you're like, oh, shoot. And you didn't pull hard enough, or you didn't pull at all, and you just went off in we used to call them floaters, where you forget the pull and you just ride off the ramp and loop out because your weight's back, but you're not tugging. Terrible. Scary feeling. I did that one. Good old floater. I feel like everyone has got a couple of them under their belt. But that's what I'm saying. Years of doing it, you still mess it up. But this is the thing. That trick, even though it gets easy and you can do it all day, like once you master it, you can drill them like a normal trick. But that trick has so much, like, you still respect it. I feel like on a different level than your other tricks, because you know, like, it just, you like, it's, you know, it's not a regular, it's not a upright trick. When things go wrong, you're upside down. So it does hold your respect. Like, because if you don't do it, here's the thing, when you don't do it for a couple months, let's say you get injured and you come back to go flip your first day back, you're like this. Heart rate is, you're nervous because you're like, man, I ain't flipped in like, especially at ACL, you're like, man, I ain't flipped in 6 months. I ain't even touched my bike in 6 months. Your heart's just racing. You're like, but then as soon as you hit the first one, you're like, oh yeah, that's what it feels. You don't, it's muscle memory. You're like, oh yeah, I got it. And then you just got to keep doing them. And then they get rid of that nervousness. But anyway, fun stuff. All right, so did I miss anybody stuff? Yeah, I think I skipped Jesse. Sometimes I'll start talking to you guys and I get excited and I'll scroll while I'm talking. All right, let's get Jesse here. Hopefully I ain't taking up. And I only got 12% on the computer right now because I forgot to charge it today. So hopefully we got 10 minutes. Hopefully you got down to 11%. Hopefully we got 1% a minute and we wrap this up and I don't lose you guys. But if it cuts out, it's because I forgot to charge my computer. My fault. All right. He says, Ronnie, would you and Mel want to watch me race sometimes in the summer? Have you thought about sponsoring me in racing summer through your business and or Mel's business? So Jesse, so where are you located out here in the Midwest so we could come watch you jam? Where are you located, brother? Hey, I love watching people. So I'll definitely come check you out if you're out here hitting some of the local races out. Especially my boy Brian's going to be out there racing. Going to have to come cheer you on, brother. Coach, man, give me the pit board, dude. I'll be pit boarding for you. Mini Dad. All right, I see. Sorry for bringing up lust as too personal. This is Liam here. I see the question marks, but I don't see the question. Something about lust. So if I miss it, throw it back up because I do that. And I want to start scrolling fast because I always take so long to answer questions that I miss half your guys' stuff at the end because jibber jabbering all the time. Well, all right, so here's that. Wasn't there a controversy that Caleb Wyatt did the first Blackfoot in a chart? Yeah, I've heard that a million times, and I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not that good of friends to know what Caleb Wyatt, and maybe he did. Maybe he did the first one in his yard and didn't get no credit for it. That's possible, but I know Kerry Hart's the first one to do it in front of the world, and he did it at a contest. So, hey, maybe Caleb Wyatt did it. Because I've heard that. People have said that Caleb Wyatt's the first one to ever flip. Maybe. He could be. I don't know. I'm just saying Kerry Hart did it first at X Games, and it's the first time I seen it. First time most of the guys in freestyle seen it. So if Wyatt did it, it probably wasn't on film, wasn't like, we didn't have social media back then. So it probably, if he did do it, didn't get out to where he got the credit. Let's just say Kerry Hart got the credit. Maybe Caleb Wyatt did it first, but in my opinion, I always give Hart the credit because it was the first one that pretty much anyone's seen. So I give it to Hart, but who knows? That's been brought up before. People say that. All right, so this is like a community, how we get to all come together and help each other with the bikes, go etc. as amateurs. Yeah, this is exactly what this is about. We hang out Monday nights, and like I said, we get on here. You guys get in the chats, talk about stuff, and ask questions, and I hope to give helpful answers that can benefit you guys, Totally. I've been in the motocross industry since I was 8 years old and had a 20-year pro career, and, hey, I get to teach, I get to give back. People help me out when I can remember so many people to help me out along the way. All the way back to when I was a mini rider and the local shop, Fairway Cycle in Summers Point, was hooking me up with like 10-15% off of stuff, and I was pumped. Grateful, Like, I don't forget that stuff. Remember when I moved to California? I probably talked about it before. Metzger, I didn't have no money. Metzger used to buy me Taco Bell. Well, out there it was Del Taco. But I don't forget that stuff. So, hey, if I can be a little bit of help on here and give some good advice and help people along the way, that's why I coach. I want to help people get better at what they love. I love riding. I got coached. Helped me a ton. So now I get to coach and help people get better. So that's why we get on there. We can share what we know and make a difference. Help people out. That's what life's all about. All right. Let's get Lauren up here one more time. Oh, we got 9% left. I better start about the game. 9% before we shut down. It says, Biggie Zoe 135 Scrub Daddy Training. I don't know if I know Scrub Daddy Training. He said he is going to come train me when I feel he's not. Wait, Zoid's a photographer, right? I feel like I know Zoid. Biggie Zoid's a photographer, right? And that's why I'm laughing. Scrub Daddy Training. Is that him? Because I do know him. It's a black dude, right? I do know that dude if that's him. And he's cool. Super cool. He hangs out, swap moto guys. Do you know who I'm talking about? I think so. So if Scrub Daddy Training is Biggie Zoid's the photographer, then I do know him. And he's actually, there's a BMX. TJ Ellis is a pro BMX rider. And I think that's his uncle. So they're all good people. Love those dudes. funny. I actually seen him. He was at Star West when I was there in June. If that's the same dude, I could be wrong. I didn't know he trained though. I didn't know he had Scrub Daddy training. I just thought he was a photographer, but maybe I'm wrong. Might got the wrong guy. Who knows? But Zoid, I know Zoid. All right. Yeah, this is funny. He says, "Heck yeah, Coach Faisst, you have to wear the outfit." I will too. The little coach outfit. You gotta check out the skit so you know what he's talking about. 7%. We got 6 minutes and 7%. So we're basically losing about 1% a minute. So it might work out perfect. From Wisconsin. All right, so we're gonna look for Jesse's email from Wisconsin. And got a little super chat here for Anthony. He says, "Thank you for the advice. Anytime, my brother. Thanks for being here week after week, man. I noticed you guys are always here. So, yeah, thank all you guys being here week after week. This is a little motocross. It's like, dude, motocross is family. At the end of the day, moto is family. It's a family sport, and it's a family community as far as, like, the people that you get connected with in moto, they become, like, your family. Like, I think about all the guys I came up with, Deegan, Twitch, I mean, even Taka. Those dudes are like my family. They're family, like my brothers. I love those dudes, like... And it's the same thing. You get connected with people in the moto industry. You ride with them. You hang out with them. You travel with them. You do all the moto stuff with them. MOTOLIFE. They become like family. So moto it brings people together. It's an amazing sport, man. I love it. Dirt bikes are cool, man. I think about of all the places I got to go in the world because of dirt bikes, and I think about all the people I've gotten to meet because of dirt bikes. Like, think about that. Like, that's how cool dirt bikes are. Like, they can bring you all around the world. You can make you friends all around the world. They just have a cool way of bringing people together. So, oh, this thing just glitched on me here. All right, so Liam's saying, "Hey, just DM'd you." All right, so we're gonna check out the DMs for Liam, and cruising down. We got about 5% left. Swam, my brother Swami. All right, here we go. He says, "Do you know who has the private track between Tonganoxie and Lawrence?" I don't know. It's not the one in Basel, right? Because that's the one I teach at. It's kind of so Tonganoxie and Lawrence. So no, I think that's a different area. So it's probably not the Basel track and it's right off the side of the freeway. The one right off the side of the freeway. It's like right on the border of Basel and Tonganoxie. That's the one I teach at. It's a nice little track, but I don't know about if that's the same one you're talking about. I'm trying to think what road it's off. It's like 10 minutes from the speedway. It's like right up. If you're on that speedway road, it takes you right out there. But pretty sweet track. But here's the deal. This year, we're going to start kicking off the Midwest classes, probably March, April, depending on, like, as long as it's, it's freezing now. So as long as this weather shifts and the rain doesn't kill us, because I've noticed that it rains a ton here in the spring, which can flood out all the tracks. But we're going to get started here pretty soon in the Midwest, and we're not far off. And I'm looking to do, there's a private track in Hillsdale, and I'm looking to do group classes. Like, I'm going to do my normal group class once a month, 5 riders for 5 hours. But I'm also going to be getting into one-on-one training this year. I didn't do any last year because basically I didn't have like my own track, or I didn't have a place where consistently that I could just show up and teach. And I didn't want to, like, what do you say, overstep your welcome or whatever. Like, this dude was letting me use his private track. Green Valley let me go out there a little bit. But I didn't want to be the guy like, "Hey, can I come? I got a student this week. Can I come this week and come this way?" And just the guy eventually be like, "Dude, this guy's a pain in the butt, man." He just told him he can do a motocross track here or school here. Now he wants to teach, 5 people 5 times a week. So I didn't want to be that guy. But with this new private track, he offered it to me. He said, "Hey, dude, if you want to do stuff down there, no worries." So with the door being open like that, I'm looking to do once a month group classes, small group classes, and then take on one-on-one stuff during the week as much as that I can, and people that people want to get training. So, and another thing, that's what I'm saying. If Brian's been to a class. I see Tommy Kimberly's on here. He's been to one class. His son's been to a class. But I got a couple students, honestly. Brixton and Maddox, who they've been to me almost every single class I did last year. And for guys like that who have been to maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes, I think for them, because a lot of times I'll start with the basics and go through the basics. So some of it, if they've been to some of the classes, it could sound a little repetitive for the first 40 minutes, kind of going over a lot of the bike setup stuff that they've already heard every single class. So for them, it might be better to start doing more one-on-one stuff. Then I can kind of take them, directly where they're at in their riding and work with them for a shorter period of time, but direct. So I'm looking forward to that, to having one-on-one stuff. And I think it's fun. It is good to, coaching's fun, period. But one-on-one is even, it's just good. It's like you're right there. It's one dude. It's just you and him. You can really just, 2 to 2.5 hours. I feel like that's a perfect window. 3 if you want, but I feel like 2 to 2.5 is perfect. You can go through so much stuff in that amount of time with one person and cover a lot of stuff and just really just fine tune them. So looking forward to the one-on-one stuff this year. All right, guys, so it is 8 o'clock, and we are just about dead on this computer. So, hey, thanks again for hanging out. Hopefully I didn't miss. Here we go. We got one more question here. I just popped it. We'll get this, and then we'll wrap up. It says, merch to Canada, what's the shipping like? Is it reasonable? Yeah, so basically, we do ship to Canada, and, hey, I've had people email me and say, hey, your shipping rates to Canada are reasonable, and so thanks for that. So, but just if you want to see them, just go on the site, pick out what you want, and then go to checkout, and it'll show you what the shipping is. And then obviously, if you're cool with it, you can move on with your order. If not, you just abandon your cart. But for the most part, from what I heard, we do what we call is real shipping rates. So I don't come up with like a shipping flat rate. That way, I'm trying to just charge people this and work a couple extra bucks in the order. It's live shipping rates. This is the way we do it right through our Shopify. So whatever it actually costs to ship through UPS or USPS, jeez, that's what we charge. We don't make any extra money. No flat rate. It's just, that's it. So that's how we do it, because that way you guys are paying what it costs, and it is what it is. So I guess our stuff to Canada is decent, because I've had people mention that. So check it out. And yeah, if you guys do want any merch, you can go to RonnieFaisstMX.com. We still got all the merch popping. We got new stuff coming out too. We got some hats coming out hopefully here in the next week. We should hopefully have them done. So hopefully have them back up on the site. If you guys want to get signed up for a class, if you're out in California, February 27th is the next class. So be sure to check it out. And we will be hanging. Where is it at? Boom. Right here. February 27th. SoCal, Lake Elsinore. 9 a.m. to 1:30 in the afternoon. We're going to get down 4 riders for 4.5 hours. So that is the plan, man. So thanks again, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed and you like what we do here, subscribe to the channel. And be sure to give us that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And thanks again, man. We'll see you guys next week. Hey, enjoy the races. And have fun. Peace out, boys.